Hi guys, welcome back to 12 Minutes to Glad. यहाँ पर मैं कुछ भी ज्ञान देने नहीं आया हूँ. Today I'm here to congratulate and thank all of you that we have become a family of 50,000 subscribers, and this would not have been possible without the kind of support you guys have shown, the kind of love, the kind of patience you guys show with all of us, and we try to make things easier and better for all of you. हाल ही में met a friend of mine जो मेरे से काफ़ी सालों बाद मिली and she asked me यार how is your 12 minutes to glad going on. तो मैं बहुत excited था. मैंने कहा यार मैं तो 50,000 पहुंचने वाला हूँ, और मैं उसको पूरी कहानी बताने लग गया कि हमने कहाँ से शुरुआत की थी और हम where do we stand right now, the kind of support that we get and future plans and all of that. So she thought कि काम करते हैं इसको ना फिल्म करते हैं, because students ने हमेशा मेरा एक particular side देखा है wherein I've already discussed about strategies, a lot of concepts, a lot of different topics and so on. So she said कि student will get to know a different kind of side of Keshav sir. So let's see how do you like it. So we have recorded a short interview for all of you, and this will definitely give you my honest side कि मेरे को चीज़ों के बारे में कैसा लगता है, what is my motivation behind 12 minutes to glad, and why am I doing all of this. And thank you so much again for turning my passion into a profession, and I'm really overwhelmed. मैं बहुत ज़्यादा यहाँ बोल नहीं पाऊँगा. Go to the interview, watch it till the end, and tell me how you liked it.
So you were working as a corporate lawyer. How did you come up with 12 minutes to glad? Like, did you always have this inclination towards teaching, or?
I think yeah, to some extent. My mom is a teacher, so I've always seen her teaching, घर पे भी और बाहर भी, in her school as well. And I always felt कि it's an irony, and it's really sad that education industry per se does not have very good people. I mean, we always want कि लोग अच्छा करें life में, but the people who are actually guiding them are not something who's choosing this as a career. And I always wanted to do something. I never thought that I would make it as a career, as a profession for myself, but I've always taught in college as well, to some extent, to certain NGOs here and there. So I was always inclined towards it. But yeah, I mean, when you talk about, say, corporate law, everybody in my college were inclined towards that. I mean, first year में you are told कि this is what you want to achieve. जो उस time 4th, 5th year में लोग थे, they had achieved this, and those people were our idols. So we wanted to achieve there, and we reached that. So we thought कि हमने सब कर लिया है life में. So yeah, that was the idea, and that's how things came into being.
But then, what's the whole and soul intent behind 12 minutes to glad? Like, what do you want to achieve through that?
I mean, a lot of people have asked me that कि 12 minutes to glad आया ही कैसे पहले तो 12 minutes to glad, I think when I came back to my house, so I graduated in 2020. I was supposed to graduate in May 2020, but because of COVID, it happened in March. तो थोड़ा premature हो गया. And then उसके बाद में there were the joining that we had. Most of us had a joining in June or July. तो हमें बीच में 1-1.5 महीना मिलता, हम थोड़े से रिफ्रेश होते और वापस अपने ऑफिस चले जाते. बट बिकॉज ऑफ कोविड द जॉइनिंग वॉज एक्चुअली डिलेड इनडेफिनेटली. तो पता नहीं था कि मतलब वो नवंबर दिसंबर में होगी, अगले साल ही होगी. वी हैड नो आइडिया. तो 6-7 महीने फ्री थे मिनिमम. माई मॉम टू सम एक्सटेंट पुश्ड मी, माई आई यंगर ब्रदर को पुश्ड मी कि यार तू कुछ ट्राई करते हो, जो पहले भी एक बार बात कर रहा था, उन्होंने कभी कुछ किया ही नहीं. तो मैंने कहा चलो ट्राई करते हैं. And I was always that kind of person in college who never liked shooting anything or taking photos, live in the moment type. I only knew थोड़ा सा बोलना. If you look at the initial videos of my channel also, you would feel कि ये क्या कर रहा है. ठीक है, तो मतलब that was 3 years ago. But now I always liked that bit. But उसके अलावा मुझे कुछ आता भी नहीं था. मतलब मुझे नहीं पता था कि किस एंगल से आप वीडियो रिकॉर्ड कर सकते हो, कैसे आप साउंड रिकॉर्ड कर सकते हो, how you edit a video. I had no idea about this. My brother did everything. So I always tell wherever I go, if somebody asks me about whether this, so glad it would not have been there had my brother not been with me from the very starting. So I used to do everything. I just used to be there, like थोड़ी देर मतलब स्क्रिप्ट बनाया, 2-3 घंटे बैठ गए and 10-12 मिनट बोल दिया. So 12 minutes to glad, the concept is basically keeping it very brief.
Okay.
Obviously, we're trying to deliver certain different things also these days to students, because that is, you could say, something that is a requirement that I felt that students would need. But the idea is to keep it very brief and simple.
But then, how is this different from these traditional coaching centers that we have for GLAD preparation?
I think intent is never to earn a lot of money out of people. Intent is to make things very crisp, very clear, and it is not a business. I mean, आगे जाकर if I feel that I should start something as, you could say, a paid course, I will make sure that it becomes affordable for people. Because particularly I see in CLAD, a lot of people do not take this as an option because उनको लगता है कि तो महंगा ही बहुत है, and we can't do it. A lot of people are probably very scared of doing this because उनको लगता है कि यार हमारा तो बैकग्राउंड इतना इंग्लिश का नहीं, राइट, सच है इंग्लिश हेवी पेपर, तो ये कैसे होगा. तो ये सारे मिथ्स मुझे हटाने. आई वांट टू डू समथिंग फॉर पीपल. मतलब व्हेन आई वाज प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर क्लैट, आई ऑलवेज फेल्ट यार काश कोई ऐसा होता जो मेरे को हाथ पकड़ के ठीक से गाइड कर पाता. एंड आई थिंक आई हैव बीन गिवन दिस अपॉर्चुनिटी बाय गॉड, और मतलब कैसे ये बना है अपने आप की. आई वुड रियली लाइक टू डू समथिंग फॉर पीपल.
So, like, in this journey of 3 years of running this channel, what are some of the challenges that you think you have been able to combat कौन से
I would not call it challenges. I would call it experiences, to be honest. But because when I had started, I had absolutely no idea, as I told you. So जब मैंने स्टार्ट किया तो मुझे पता नहीं था. At this point in time, मुझे शायद बहुत कम पता है. I only know 10% of how things are done. But that 10% has been a journey. I mean, a lot of things. For example, there has been sessions that I've taken people. Actually, I have been getting emails, or I have gotten emails where people said कि आपका एक session देख के we felt so motivated कि मतलब we were depressed. We were actually some people were taking actually counseling here and there, and I don't know, some people said that your videos work as a therapy for us. I don't know how it goes, so I get really happy, and it's not that's what's telling you. The intent is to, you know, when people kind of praise you, they look at your videos and they, you know, kind of have a very good these videos have a very good impression on them, so that keeps me going. I mean, if 5 people likes that, I really liked your video, thank you so much for this and all of that, so I really absolutely love that.
That's such a great compliment in its own.
Yeah, exactly.
So, like, where do you wish to take it further on your channel? Like,
Honestly, जैसे मैंने बताया, when I started this, I had no sense of direction. At this point in time, I have some sense that people have actually accepted me, in the sense that whatever I tell them, that if they try to implement it, it works for them. Whatever I tell them, say concept-wise, I teach current affairs, legal reasoning, and all the 5 subjects basically. So they have a good understanding कि हाँ समझ में तो आ रहा है, मतलब whatever he is teaching. तो आगे जाके probably I would want to start something of my own, because मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि YouTube पे there's a limit to which people can consume content. It's distracting also. मतलब अगर if you start only watching the YouTube part of it, then आपको कभी-कभी लगता है कि यार 4 चीज़ें और ऑप्शन में आ रही है, वो भी देख लेते हैं. तो आप देखोगे तो 30 मिनट का इंपॉर्टेंट कंटेंट बड़ा 3 घंटे के और वेस्ट कर दोगे. तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि आई वुड वांट टू क्रिएट सम काइंड ऑफ प्लेटफॉर्म फॉर स्टूडेंट्स वेयर वी कैन डिस्कस थिंग्स. मुझे ऐसा भी लगता है टू सम एक्सटेंट, बिकॉज इट बिकम अ बिजनेस पर से, अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल डू नॉट टेल स्टूडेंट्स एज टू व्हाट एग्जैक्टली इज रिक्वायर्ड इन द एग्जाम. मतलब यू डू नॉट वांट टू वेस्ट योर आवर्स एंड टाइम जस्ट बिकॉज यू वांट टू डू रैंडम थिंग्स एग्जाम में आ ही नहीं सकती. सो आई थिंक इट्स इंपॉर्टेंट टू टेल स्टूडेंट्स एक्चुअली व्हाट इज राइट एंड हाउ कैन दे मैनेज अदर स्टफ. एग्जाम्पल, बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स यहाँ पर बोलते हैं कि सर हम 12th कैसे मैनेज करें क्लैट के साथ. तो उनको कई बार मतलब मेरा जनरली डिस्कशन होता है उनसे कि हाउ टू प्रैक्टिकली थिंक अबाउट इट, है ना, किस तरह से वो कर सकते हो. तो आई थिंक ऑल्सो मैंने क्लैट लिखा था किसी पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम पे, तो आई नो व्हाट अ क्लैट एस्पिरेंट गोज थ्रू मेंटली एज वेल. क्या प्रॉब्लम्स होती है जब उनका एक मॉक टेस्ट में नंबर अच्छे नहीं आते. तो आई थिंक आई बीन एबल टू गाइड देम वेरी, आई वुड से प्रॉपरली सो फार.
but just to be able to do all of this, what we need, ये काफी difficult ही होगा, because in person when we teach students, meet with them, we miss on to a lot of things. So, what is your game plan like?
Honestly speaking, I mean, there's no game plan as such. I mean, there is no particular way in which I'm gonna go to students or, you know, tell them about particular thing, but I will definitely, I think, figure it out over a period of time. But one thing is very clear that if I start something, ऐसा नहीं होगा कि यार मेरे पास 4,000 बच्चे आ जाएं और वो मेरे को बहुत ज़्यादा बिजनेस दे दे, उसमें 2-4 सेलेक्ट भी हो जाए. आई वुड वांट कि यार कम स्टूडेंट्स हो जाए, लेकिन मैं उन पर पर्सनली अटेंशन देता हूँ. दैट इज़ वाई आई स्टार्टेड माई पर्सनल मेंटोरशिप सेशन, बिकॉज आई अंडरस्टैंड कि every student has a very different kind of requirement. I mean, you may have a problem, I may have a problem, our problem may be different with respect to the same thing. So I mean, you need a different kind of a session or a different kind of an understanding from a mentor, and I would need a different kind of an understanding. So that's what personal mentorship also was made for. And I think I would want to do something in this field, obviously with concepts as well, not just strategy. But yeah, this is something that is my aim as of now.
That's great. Have you been able to help any of the students get through the NLEs? You are from NL.
I think I have. I mean, there have been a lot of, you could say, testimonials, emails that I've received so far. So there was this guy who got all India rank 2 in one of the exams, and he obviously texted me the first time he got to know कि उसको all India rank 2 आ गया. And उसने मेरे को अपना report, मतलब he told me when he wrote the exam कि सर मेरे को इतने marks आ रहे हैं. And I didn't believe him. I said कि यार it's not possible because लोगों के आते नहीं इतने नंबर. तो I said okay चलो congratulations, let's wait for the result. Then जैसे ही रिजल्ट आया उसने मेरे को वापस से मैसेज करा, and I couldn't believe it. मतलब मुझे ऐसा लगता नहीं था कि मैं इतना डिफरेंस क्रिएट कर सकता हूँ. मतलब it was not just me, it was a team effort, I'm pretty sure. But अब he talked to me and he said कि सर this was because I had watched your channel 12 minutes to CLAT. I decided कि मैं CLAT करूँगा, and this is something that I can do. And you basically, मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि एक होप होना, सबके लिए एक रोल मॉडल होना बहुत ज़रूरी है. आई मीन, मैं बहुत बार अपनी क्लास में भी एग्जांपल देता हूँ कि इंडिया में हमेशा वी टॉक अबाउट द क्रिकेट टीम, वी ऑलवेज टॉक अबाउट गुड बैट्समैन, वी टॉक अबाउट गावस्कर, सचिन, कोहली, धोनी एंड ऑल. बट अगर आप पाकिस्तान में जाओगे ना, दे ऑलवेज टॉक अबाउट देयर बॉलर्स, दे टॉक अबाउट वसीम अकरम, शाहीन अफरीदी, व्हाटएवर हूवर न्यू इज, बिकॉज वहाँ पर जो बॉलर्स होते हैं, जैसे इमरान खान वाज वन ऑफ द बॉलर्स इन देयर कंट्री, ही बिकेम द प्राइम मिनिस्टर, मतलब वहाँ पर वो रोल मॉडल्स ही अलग हैं. तो एवरी टाइम, एवरी न्यू जनरेशन, दे हैव गुड बॉलर्स. आवर रोल मॉडल्स आर बैट्समैन, so we have new batsmen every new generation, so it's basically what you look up to. So there are some students, I believe they look up to me as well, and I don't want to disappoint anybody कि यार मतलब ठीक है, मैं तो मतलब कुछ और ही दिखा रहा हूँ तुमको पिक्चर में और मैं कुछ और ही इंसान हूँ. तो I just want to keep it very simple, keep it truthful. And मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि I come from a very small town also. So वहाँ पर ऐसा था कि when we were being taught, और जो हमें morals है वो हर जगह आगे आते हैं. मतलब अगर कोई मेरे को बोले कि अरे ठीक है मतलब छोड़ यार पैसे लेके खत्म कर, तो मुझे से वो हो ही नहीं पाता. मतलब आई वुड नॉट स्लीप एट नाइट अगर मैंने कुछ किसी के साथ ऐसा कर दिया तो. या तो आई थिंक दैट्स द इंटेंट एंड दैट इज बीन गोइंग ऑन. मतलब द गुड पार्ट इज कि आई बीन एबल टू टेल दैट टू स्टूडेंट्स एज वेल, कि मतलब दे बिलीव मी इन द सेंस कि यार ये इंसान ना मैं लूटने के लिए नहीं है ना, या फिर हमें बेवकूफ़ बनाने के लिए नहीं है. सो दैट्स व्हाट आई लाइक अबाउट द चैनल एंड माई सेल्फ.
What are few things you think sets you apart from the other, let's say, edtech channels that are there currently?
यार ऑनेस्टली मेरे को ऐसा लगता है कि एड टेक अगर पर्टिकुलरली हम बात करें, बिगर कंपनीज, दे हैव अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल टू आंसर.
Okay.
I mean, for example, say you are somebody who invest in an edtech, you would want that edtech to give you the returns as well. तो अगर तूने 100 रुपये इन्वेस्ट करे हैं तो तू 2 साल बाद बोलेगी कि मेरे को 150 200 रुपये वापस चाहिए, बिकॉज यू इन्वेस्टेड. तो क्या होता है कि edtech, because they have so much money from different investors and everybody is pushing them to bring business out of it. Nobody cares about what students go through. I mean, I've seen so many students on different edtech platforms. They subscribe to something, they do not get the desired services. मतलब everything is very rosy जब starting में when they have not taken the subscription. Once they take it, they become dead assets for that company because वो वापस तो लेंगे नहीं. Then they focus on new students. So I don't want to do that. I want to be traditional in that sense. मैं बहुत ज़्यादा old school हूँ. मतलब मेरे को ऐसे वो नहीं करना कि बहुत सारे पैसे कमा के मतलब कुछ करना है. लेकिन yeah, I mean, that's what I also felt being very close to like some of these edtech companies. So I think yeah, I want to keep it simple. I want to keep it closer to student. मेरे को ऐसा लगता है एजुकेशन इंडस्ट्री में trust and the amount of connection you can have with your students is what helps them do better because they are very confident with that now. मेरे को पता ही नहीं मेरा स्टूडेंट कौन है, स्टूडेंट को पता ही नहीं, ठीक है मैं क्लास 1 घंटे के लेता हूँ फिर मैं भाग जाता हूँ इधर उधर, पूरे दिन हमारा कोई सिस्टम ही नहीं है, हम कभी भी मिलते ही नहीं है, चाहे वर्चुअली ही मिले. Then it has a very bad connect with student, I think. तो ऐसा होना चाहिए. There should be some people with you as well. Like मैं खुद से भी होना चाहिए कि I should tell them कि भाई क्या problem है, how can you sort it out.
What's the reason behind choosing 12 as a specific number, like that you'd only put up 12 minutes long video?
I'll be honest again. So initially I started कि I'll start 10 minutes to glad. So somebody told me कि यार 10 minutes ना एक तो cliche और बहुत कम है. तो I thought पे 20 कर लेते हैं. तो they said कि 20 बहुत ज़्यादा है. And when we were doing this preparation, we were doing it in the month of May. Okay, and 12th May is my birthday. Okay, so I thought that 12 is a different kind of a number, and let's keep it 12 minutes to glad. I mean, that was a basic thought, and we just kept it. Now, obviously, I have to tell this to people, तो मैं यही बता पाता हूँ कि probably that was the reason. I'm not exactly sure about the reason, but yeah, that was there in my mind at that time.
What are some of the values that you can't compromise on at all when it comes to your work?
I think the welfare of my students. There can be no scenario जहाँ पर मेरे को कोई आके बोले कि यार चल ये कर लेते हैं छोड़ स्टूडेंट्स को एक बार, ऐसा मतलब it's impossible. I mean, I have done a few things so far for students. I mean, मैं ऐसे गिना नहीं रहा हूँ यहाँ पे, but I'm just trying to tell you that there were a lot of things that were going on. I left my job for my students. I like missed out on, I would not quote, but 5, 6, 7 digit because of my, like, for my students. I started teaching them for free. मतलब मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि यार अगर किसी की आपने रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ली है ना तो उस रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी को ठीक से निभाओ यार, मतलब डू इट. एंड दिस इज वन सेक्टर जहाँ पर अगर वेलफेयर मोटिव नहीं है ना, then you are just wasting your time and others' time as well. I mean, you have to teach them properly. When my parents taught me or my parents enrolled me somewhere, they always had this understanding कि यार इसको वहाँ पर अच्छे से पढ़ाया जाएगा. People would help him do well. है ना, वो चाहे वहाँ पर कैसा भी हो, जो भी हो, लेकिन I want a situation जहाँ पर मैं उसको चेंज कर सकूँ. मुझे ऐसा लगता है एजुकेशन इंडस्ट्री में थोड़ा सा लैकिंग है अभी दैट वेलफेयर मोटिव, है ना, कि मतलब एवरीबडी की सब चाहते हैं कि भाई आज हमारे पास 200 स्टूडेंट्स है, कल जाकर 400 आ जाएगा, फिर अब 2000 हो जाए. शायद मैं भी चाहूँगा वो, ऐसी बात नहीं है कि मैं बहुत ही संत आदमी हूँ कि नहीं मेरे को तो मतलब 100 ही पढ़ाना है, लेकिन मैं भी चाहूँगा कि मैं किसी भी तरह से आई मेक श्योर दैट आई एम गिविंग दैट ड्यू अटेंशन टू एवरीबडी. आई डू नॉट लाइक अ सिचुएशन वेयर देयर आर 20 स्टूडेंट निकाल लिए कि भाई ये तो मुझे टॉपर लग रहे हैं तो ये तो मैं पक्का निकालूंगा और बाकी सारे बच्चों को देख लेते हैं. आई डोंट लाइक दैट सिचुएशन. लाइक एवरीबडी शुड बी ट्रीटेड इक्वली. यू हैव टेकन equal amount of fees from them at times, and you have to take equal responsibility. So I think that's very important. welfare of my students, I can go to any extent. I don't know what extent is that, but that is one thing that I will never compromise on.
Which is so important, I believe, because कितने institutes में we see कि लोगों को based on their grades ऐसे different sections में divide कर देते हैं, and it's so disheartening sometimes to see, because I believe सब में कुछ ना कुछ एक capability और caliber है. They just need that right, guidance and mentorship to just.
Actually, क्या होता है, the industry is like that sometimes. Because for example, say you want to prepare for an exam and you enroll somewhere, तो तुम क्या देखोगे कि पिछले साल रिजल्ट्स कितने अच्छा है पर्टिकुलर प्लेस के. तो वो रिजल्ट्स के चक्कर में क्या होता है कि वो जो अच्छा कर रहे होते हैं बच्चे, उन पर ज़्यादा फोकस देकर उनको अच्छा करवा के अगले साल के लिए स्टूडेंट को लाया जाता है. तो आई थिंक rather than just focusing on this, people also needs to have a holistic approach कि यार कौन हमें ऐसा इंसान दिख रहा है जो रिलायबल है, प्रिपरेशन को बीच में छोड़ के भाग नहीं जाएगा. तो आई थिंक दैट्स समथिंग दैट पीपल नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड. एंड I'm pretty young in the industry also, and as a person as well, तो मुझे लगता है कि धीरे धीरे I can create that sense of trust for CLAT and law exams at least. I think so.
All of this sounds incredible. I mean, I wish you all the best. And CLAT 2023 आ ही रहा है December में, so hoping.
It's 24 actually. इसके लिए हमारा CLAT अलग तरह से थोड़ा चलता है.
Okay.
And I think, yeah, I mean, you're right. मेरे को I really want to do. I want to send as many people as possible to these NLUs. और मैं मतलब कई बार ऐसा हुआ है कि आफ्टर स्टार्टिंग 12 minutes to CLAT पिछले 1-2 साल में आई हैव बीन टू 2 NLUs, my own NLU and one more NLU. And जहाँ पर भी गया हूँ, people have met me and they've been so thankful कि because of you we were able to do it. Like one of the main factors. Obviously, I'm not the only factor. So मेरे को वो अच्छा लगता है, and I would want that to create that legacy over the years also. So yeah, that's also an intent.